What is the most important thing about you? It's what you believe about God. In this video, we look at ways you can increase your knowledge of God and experience a radical transformation in your life. One of the great classic books is Knowledge of the Holy by A.W. Tozer. It was written a couple of generations ago, and it is a book on the attributes of God, or what is God like. Before he launches into a discussion of the attributes, Tozer makes this statement. What comes into our minds when we think about God is the most important thing about us. The history of mankind will probably show that no people has ever risen above its religion. No religion has ever been greater than its idea of God. We tend by a secret law of the soul to move toward our mental image of God. I was standing in the fountain area of the University of Colorado one time, and one of the university's most prominent professors came up to me. We chatted for a while, and then she commented on my Christian faith. She said, "Phil, what difference does it make what a person believes as long as they are nice?" I was astonished by her statement, and I asked her a simple question. Don't you think a person's niceness is affected by what they believe? I then used an illustration I've used many times. When we look at Nazi Germany and its appalling evils, there's a tendency to say Hitler was insane, but he wasn't. He simply had different theological views from our own. He made it very clear that he was a social Darwinist, and he believed the weaker races needed to be eliminated so the strong could flourish. Handling humans was no different from breeding cows. If you hold that view, then the extermination camps make perfect sense. Hitler didn't believe in God. He believed it was up to us humans to produce the best world we could. So as you can see, what you believe about God affects how nice you are. One time when I was a college student, I was chatting with one of my favorite professors. He said something to me that I had never heard before, and this was the first time I heard it, but I've heard it many times since. He said, "Mitchell, Christians are so heavenly minded, they are of no earthly good." It took me aback, and I didn't know exactly what to say. So I thought about it for a few days, and then I came back to him. I said, Christians who are heavenly minded are the most useful people on this earth. They build schools and orphanages, tend to the sick, operate hospices, feed the poor, and do an endless number of good deeds for the needy. They do more good for the people of the earth than everyone else put together, and they do it because they are heavenly minded. You see, if a person believes this life is all there is, they can't afford to waste it on sacrificially serving other people. But Christians believe that this life is just a tiny slice of reality. We can afford to give up everything in this life because we await the glories of the next life. So we can sacrifice ourselves to serve others. The person who believes this life is all there is can't afford to do that. A man asked Jesus, "What is the great commandment?" And Jesus said, "There are two. The first is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. The second is to love your neighbor as yourself." Jesus said the entire law is summed up in those two commands. How many times have I heard someone quote the second command and skip the first? They think loving your neighbor is all you need. You can leave out loving your God, but you can't. If you do not know and love God, you don't know how to love your neighbor. Besides, loving God gives you the strength you need to love others. It is a terrible mistake to leave out Jesus' first command and then try to obey the second. So as you can see, what you believe about the Lord your God affects everything about you. And every decision you make in life, every action is dictated by your assumptions about God. Do you want to live a transformed life? Get to know God and determine to live for Him. Your life will be radically changed. Thank you for listening. In the information below, I have links to the Tozer book and other books that will help you to understand who God is. If you like this video, please subscribe. And also, you can refer to videos in this list that I have uploaded that tell you how to become a Christian and how to know you are a Christian. May God bless you richly.